What's up, guys? Welcome to the Resilience Fitness Podcast. Today I'm so excited because we have a very special guest on. My dad.
Hello.
Welcome, Patrick Gillis.
Yo, what's happening?
He's also the longest standing member.
Wow.
Along with Christina Dobbin.
I was showing pictures yesterday of I have a little group chat going with some of the guys in Resilience, and we were showing old pictures, and there was one like in the first year, and it's a little huddle, and you're in there with like 8 other people. It was awesome to see, and awesome to have you for like the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's so good to have you as a guest.
Well, it's changed my life, really. You know, it's created longevity, and when you're physically fit, it affects all the other areas in your life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. So that's a big part of how it's affected my life.
Amazing.
Resilience, yeah.
Love that. We'll probably dive really deep into those things.
Okay.
But the reason we invited you on today is because we just got back from a very awesome event.
Yes.
Houston HYROX.
Houston HYROX, yeah.
How was that? Tell us about that.
Well, tell us, okay.
Just tell us about your experience. The first thing that comes to your mind. What was that like? Just going there together as a father and son and bringing home first place.
The hardware?
Yeah.
Or the flag?
Yeah. How was that? First thing that comes to your mind.
First thing that comes to my mind is, man, it was hard. The actual event was difficult for me at times. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And then, the event, I'll look back on for years to come with great memories that I'll cherish, because it's an experience that I don't think many father and sons will have the opportunity to do or do take advantage of, right? And a lot of Resilience members reminded me of that going into it, and also friends of mine as well said, "Hey, what a great opportunity that you have to do with your son." And I agree. It was an incredible opportunity that I loved every minute of it, and it was great to do it with you as a son, as a father and son, but also to see you as a coach in action. Like, I've seen you obviously on a weekly basis, but then directly with me.
And what was that like?
There was moments where there was pain moments. You mean the coaching?
Yeah, the coaching part.
There was pain moments and moments where I felt like I could not do it. Like the running. The running was the hardest part. I felt like I didn't think I could do it. And you just said, come on, dad, you can do it. Come on, let's just pass this corner. One more lap, one more bit. We're at the time, we can do it. You were just encouraging me and coaching me to finish, to push past the pain, to push past the limit that I was feeling. I was feeling this limit that I couldn't go faster. I can't do it. Like, I felt like I can't do it. And I did it, but it was because of your coaching. Like, it was moments where I was running. I remember I was running and you turned around, you started running backwards saying, "Come on, Dad," you were facing me. It was those moments where if I was on my own, I probably would have walked for 10 seconds.
Right.
Or 20?
Who's counting though?
Yeah, and it was those 10 seconds that created us to be under the 1 hour, 10 minutes that we did, because we were 1 hour and 9 minutes, 48 seconds. So if I would have walked 10 seconds or 15, we wouldn't have met the goal. And that's the thing in life. Sometimes we have those goals, and the goals are there and they're set. And walking through the hurdles along those goals is overcoming them to get to that goal point, that point.
Speaking of the time goal, we were on a slightly different page going down. And I remember on the plane, I told him, I'm like, "Listen, we're going under 110. He's like, 115. I said, "No, 110. 110 is the number." And at the lunges, which is the second last zone.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the clock, and then I said, "We're on pace for 109. I know we can do this," which was so cool to kind of dig deep in those moments. You hear a lot of pro athletes talk about those moments. They're kind of do or die moments.
Yeah.
And we just kept going, man, and we found some resilience, in us, and we kept going. It was amazing, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, like because I'm a realtor, I've been coached as a realtor. I've had business coaches before, and of course, coaches in resilience, you and Josh, and other coaches. And I found that I know what to do. I know what to do in business. I know what to do at resilience. We know what to do. Every athlete or every person that attends the resilience, we know what to do. Same with business. I know what to do. And the last thing you want to have, I felt from me or my personality, is I don't want a coach to tell me what to do. I want a coach to encourage me to get to the finish line, to not push me, but to bring me there, to run with me, to take me there, to guide me there, to run with me to that finish line. And that's what you did. And that's what I've reacted to well in business coaching too, because I know what to do to get deals done or to accomplish my goal. I know what to do. It's, are we going to do it? And sometimes you just need somebody to come alongside you to get that done, to run with you past that finish line, and to say the right words at the right time to say to get you there, right? Yeah. A lot of it's mental.
Yeah, no.
A lot of it's mental.
Definitely.
For sure.
I've just seen a massive change in you. So how do you account for that?
The first thing that comes to my mind is goal setting. And I've done that in business, in life, all my life for 35 years. So when you guys brought HYROX to the table at Resilience, it became, something new that we've never heard of or did before it came to Toronto. And it was something we all jumped into, or a lot of us did.
Yeah.
And once we got a taste of it, it's one of those things that, okay, I want to go to the next level, and we'll go to the next level and do this and do that. And so I had set a goal Andrew and I set a goal to take on a doubles father and son. And so once we started talking about it, like any goal, you start executing and thinking about it and setting the minor goals. And then once we booked it, I was committed. And I think that's a thing in life. When we have a goal in front of us, then if we want to conquer and win, then we have to do everything it takes to get to that goal. And that's when I started increasing my training, the running, the fitness, attending more, and being more conscious about what I'm eating. And that really changed a lot over the last year. My good buddy Minas helped me with my eating habits, which changed a lot too. I was able to lose about 14 pounds since late last fall, and a lot to do with eating. And Andrew, you always said to me, you can work out 6-7 times a week, but if you're eating terribly, then that doesn't help in the big picture. Yeah. So you can work out a lot, and that's a big part of it. But if you're not eating well as well, that holds you back. So I started to eat better and still have kept that going. So I think the short answer to your question is goals. I set the goal and with Andrew, and then I had to follow through.
Amazing. Did you find that the race, the way it's set up, is motivating for you? Because I've talked about this a lot on the podcast too. I've been finding that for clients, it's been really motivating to keep them accountable to a goal. Like there's like a specific goal to maybe beat a time or just to look forward to something to do. And I've just seen a big change in that too. So did you find the race to be helpful to match up with that goal that you have? Like, you obviously want to get a little bit more fit, but what do you feel about the race in terms of that? Do you think it keeps you accountable to your goals? And I know we've talked privately, you have goals to even do a singles race. Mm-hmm. So do you think that helps people that come to work out to the gym to keep them accountable to their goals?
Like having the HYROX classes or the race set up ahead of you? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I think HYROX, I think you guys both have mentioned that it's taken over the world. And you can certainly see that where, these events have 9,000 athletes that are attending.
Crazy.
And they're sold out in a day or 2 or 3 days or whatever. So, I think the race, experiencing it once, is like a taste of wow.
Yeah.
The energy, the experience makes you want to come back.
Yeah.
And experiencing it once says, okay, now I can do something better in this one area of
right.
the race.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
helps you to conquer it. And yeah, I did a relay last year with 3 other good buddies. I've done a doubles with Andrew. And like Andrew said, naturally, the next thing I should do is do a solo. And you've done a solo, Josh. And
Or do another doubles and smash a record.
yeah, we could do that
There you
too.
go.
Exactly. There we go. Do both. Yeah. So I'm trying to touch base on different things. It definitely is something new. It's fresh. It's exciting, and it's not something that you do every weekend, right? There's not a race every weekend. There's training for it. So there's a lot to look forward to, and there's a lot to take on to conquer.
I love how HYROX keeps you in shape all year round. It's not like there's not like an off season. Like you're training functionally, you're training like you do at Resilience all year for these races. And once a race is done, take a week or 2 off, but you just keep going.
Yeah.
So what that does is keep you in shape year round.
Right.
And it keeps you continuing to get better and more fit. And I think that's a really cool thing. It's not like football where, you might have an 8-month off season or 6-month off season for 12 games. Once those 12 games are done, you have to reset. You have to step out of the gym, take like a month off, and then rebuild. But HYROX is you got to keep on your toes year round.
And it's interesting because like the training kind of changes, right? From like, when we're closer to our race, we're probably doing a little bit more conditioning. So it's not like the same training for year, like you're doing the same type of training the whole year preparing for this one race. You can kind of break it down into blocks and stuff like that and keep it fresh, right? So it's not the exact same throughout the whole year.
And that's what we're doing at Resilience. We're continuing to offer these HYROX revival classes, which I know you go to East York on Wednesdays and Saturdays Survivor, and then Durham on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
How are those classes for you? And now that you've done 2 HYROXs, how much does a class like that prepare you for an arena like HYROX?
100% it prepares you. Like there's just no question. Now that I've done 2 HYROX, there's no question in my mind that you should miss those training classes. It's a must. It's an absolute must. And listen, I love both locations. Now I've been attending both. Like there's a few people who do, like Daniel. I know Shelly does. A few people go to both locations, and the energy in the Durham HYROX classes on Wednesday nights is incredible. There's just something about it that is just incredible. But I have to say, this past Wednesday when Josh led HYROX at East York, which was something new and fresh, and I think we always need that in our life. It was incredible as well. Like it was something fresh. It was something new. We were challenged.
Let's go, Josh.
Yeah, we were gassed. I was gassed afterwards. It was 75
I know you did
minutes.
2 HYROX classes in one day, and I thought to myself, "Yo, I can't even do that." I'm like, half his age.
Yeah, I went home and rolled on the carpet and just didn't get up to the next day. But yeah, it was like, I think those classes are a must if you want to conquer.
It prepares you mentally and kind of gets you in that arena too.
Yeah.
What they've done so well is create this atmosphere, and it's exhilarating.
Yeah.
It's adrenaline driven, and you walk in there and you feel like a pro athlete because you are part of this event. You step in and you see hundreds of people racing. The music's blaring. Everything is like immaculately organized, which they've done really well, which is the reason why we are affiliated with them. I said, man, these guys are super organized. I like this. I like this a lot. When we were making that decision to affiliate with them like a year ago, they do it so well.
Yeah.
So
And I
what
think-
other sport are you actually on the course with these pro athletes and you're an amateur? There is no other sport.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be at an event and you'll be on the same track at the same time as the best guy in the world.
Right.
Unless if it's an Elite 15,
And I
which
think-
is cool.
I think the great thing, I agree. One of the great things about HYROX is that you do not have to qualify to get in. You just sign up. And that's a great thing for anybody because a mother can do it, a son, a child, friends, any age from 16 up. And I saw people at the HYROX in Houston who were a paraplegic. Like they were in a wheelchair. Like how inspiring is that? And I saw one online where they had one arm and two, they were amputees.
Amazing.
So I mean, when you see that, it inspires you. And then secondly, it just gives you hope because you don't have to qualify at a certain time to get in. And that's very in welcoming and involves everybody, which is what I think is really good about HYROX.
Yeah, they say that. Like I think they say 99% of people finish. 99% of people finish. So, and people finish at all different times. And
Right.
it's always been a challenge maybe with CrossFit is that they have the open, which is awesome. But in terms of getting in front of that big atmosphere, it's really
Hard to get there.
Hard to get there.
Very
You have to
small
be
percentage, yeah.
like at the top 1%, right? So it's definitely an endorphin filling type of event, which
Super cool, yeah.
fits everyone, all levels of fitness.
I think this is a perfect segue, a perfect moment to talk about a very interesting topic, which is your age and the ability that you're performing at right now. It's crazy. You're 64 and you're just crushing your fitness right now. Maybe the fittest I've ever seen you
Yeah,
as
I
your
think so.
son. And I think that's definitely worthy to just park for a second and talk about that. How are you functioning like this at 64 years old and actually going down to Texas and competing in a sport and continuing to get better at this sport? How is that happening?
That's a really good question. I think I've said this to a few people in business and friends that, and you've probably heard this too, is that we are as strong as the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I think when I come to resilience on a daily basis, you're surrounded by people who are working out, who are fit, who want to be fit, who want to compete. And I think if that becomes a part of your daily routine, then it becomes a part of the man that you are. And then it has driven me to want to push limits and to succeed. And I know people in their 60s who aren't healthy, and I don't want to be that guy. I'm not on any medication, and I don't want to be. So I think, being fit and resilience as being a big part of that just has allowed me to push some limits and stay fit as I get older. And I see the sky's the limit. So,
Wow,
I mean,
come
when
on.
you, yeah,
Let's go.
amen. And
It's a different mindset.
it's a different mindset.
It's how you approach it mentally and how
Right.
you see it. That's your perspective.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's your perspective. It's a matter of what you believe you can do. And I think that is like anything in life. Do you want to be a great husband? Do you want to succeed in business? Do you want to be a great dad? Do you want to succeed in fitness? Do you want to? You ask yourself that question. And if you do, then just go do it. And that's what we did. And if what I'm trying to do at my age in fitness, I'm just going to go do it. I'm going to show up, like your T-shirt says. I want to show up. Do I have limits? Yeah. I mean, before the Houston HYROX, there were some things I learned a lot going into that because I really wanted to do my very best. And there was a period about 2 weeks before where I was overtraining as well. And I think there's a discussion about that too. This,
Absolutely,
we can overtrain. And I think I had a groin injury, like a pull, that it took 3 days off, and I thought, I'm going to have to cancel, and I was worried, I was concerned, and you start doing Dr. Google, and then thinking, oh man, I'm off for 6 weeks, I got to cancel, all that stuff, but I recovered really quickly, and I think that's a good thing. Also, when you're in good shape, you can recover quickly from things like that, and I did learn a little bit about overtraining. You guys both told me, listen, don't overtrain. Josh, you were saying that the week going into, Andrew, you too. So as somebody who hasn't done this much before, there's a lot to learn. Like anything when you're doing it the first time or second time.
I want to ask you a little bit more about like the hybrid stuff, because that's a big thing now. And I remember when we first started Resilience and we were telling you to come out to the gym, and you're like, I remember you talking because you were going to a big box gym and you were just kind of pumping weights, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And now you're in the best shape of your life. What would you say to someone that maybe, because there's a lot of people that have been doing the same thing for so long, they've been maybe just going to the gym, lifting weights. What would you just say to someone that's maybe in their older age, maybe in their 50s or 60s, they want to start maybe doing this stuff because they know it's healthy for their heart, healthy to do the conditioning classes, do stuff like that? What would you say to someone that's maybe been doing something for so long that may be a little bit nervous to try hybrid out, which is like a little bit of strength, a little bit of conditioning? Because I feel, and me and Andrew feel, that that's like the most healthy way to train,
Right.
In terms of longevity, in terms of your cardiovascular health and all that stuff. So what would you say to someone that might be a little bit nervous to do something because maybe their age or they've been doing something for so long?
Yeah, I think, I'm not necessarily a natural athlete, so I had to learn a lot to try to get to understand all of those benefits of hybrid, and being able to understand the beauty and the advantage of weight training and cardio. And I've noticed that it is an advantage, of course, even at my age, to be able to do that. I used to go to Good Life before resilience came into existence. And I would do a circuit, like it was about 12 machines, and I would just do it every day. It was really boring after about 2 months.
Yeah.
And then waiting for the cardio machines, forget it. It's like crazy. So, I mean, it's night and day. I would never go to a big box, workout place like that again. But also, speaking to resilience, it's just about the community. You make friends, and you're there, and you become accountable. Like you see the same people at the same workouts. So you're going to be there tomorrow. You're going to be there the next day, and then just becomes really competitive that way. And then you compete against each other because you want to crush your friend.
Yeah, the 7 a.m. East Shore crews.
Yes.
Those are some dogs out there. Mm-hmm. So, one thing we try to encourage people in hybrid training is a lot of times one side or the other will be a weakness.
Yeah.
So, hey, I can lift weights, but I can't run. Or I come from a running background. I can do cardio all day, or I'm comfortable with that. But weight training, don't know how to do it, don't know the technique. But like Josh said, the balance between the two produces results.
Mm-hmm. And health, I think. Too.
And health and longevity.
Yeah.
And like you said, that just the engagement. Mm-hmm. So having that at your disposal every day, it's like you're weight training with Lanny, then the next day you're with me at game day, then the next day you're with Mo, and then the next day you're with Nikki, and you're getting these different types of classes. And holistically together, they produce results.
Yeah.
What has that meant to your fitness and staying engaged? You just talked about like being bored at the gym, but you're engaged. Mm-hmm. And what role does that play?
Well, I think that the great thing about resilience, if we're talking about resilience, for instance, is that there's something different every day. You've got game day, which is cardio, rush, or HYROX now, and then Survivor. I think like Wednesday night Durham HYROX classes are like Saturday Survivor in East York, where if you don't sign up Sunday for the following Saturday, you are not going to get in. 48 spots are gone by Sunday night for the following Saturday. So those are the big classes, and those classes have everything that you want. So I think some people prefer weights, some people prefer cardio. I think that you've brought to the table a full balance of everything that we need, and I think we need everything. I think we need weights. As a person in their 60s, 64, going on 65 this year.
Let's go.
I've read and I understand that you lose muscle mass every year once you pass 30 or 35. I don't know the stats on it, but if you're not weight training, you will become weaker and weaker and weaker. And so the weight training at my age, or any age past 40, is so important, even though you feel you got to do cardio. So I think every class has its advantages, and I go to every class, and I love every class. So it's hard to work out. I take one day off a week. It's usually Sunday, the odd day in between. But I did 3 doubles this week too. I did Monday with
animal.
3 doubles, and it felt good. And I feel good. I took this morning off, but I did doubles Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I feel great. But I think the thing is, when you start off on that, you can't do that. But because of the place I'm in right now, I can handle it, and it's manageable, and that's what brings us to that next level. If you want to go to the next level,
it's a journey.
Yeah.
You're talking about something, your experience, and someone listening might be like, what? Like, how am I going to do 3 doubles and everything? Take us into your journey. Mentally, your perspective, your approach. Like, not everyone thinks that they can do that. Mm-hmm. But you can.
Yeah.
You don't have to do 3 doubles, but I'm saying you can start. Mm-hmm. You can do, people listening to this, you can do this, what my dad's talking about.
Right.
It's possible. But you got to believe it. You got to step into it and trust the process.
Right.
Over the last 10 years, there's been a process in you, and you've been on a journey. Mm-hmm. Encourage somebody that's maybe just starting.
Well, first off, I think when I came to the very first class 10 years ago of Resilience, you had 3 classes a week: Monday night, Wednesday night, and Saturday. That was it. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was 3 classes the whole week.
We remember that.
Yeah, not 10 classes a day, 3 classes a week.
Yeah.
And then as you grew, I grew along with it, and then that helped me to grow physically, like in my health. And I think you got to want it. You got to want it.
Come on.
Yeah, you got to want it. And if you feel that you want something in life, then for me in my life, how I became naturally goal oriented, and that just goes back to business. I think when there's something in our brain that's called the reticular activator system, is that when you see something, you think about it, you dwell on it, you long for it, you want it. The more you think about it, the more you're drawn to it. The more you're drawn to it, the more you think about it. So it's this cycle. And I think the thing is also that goes in all areas of life. And if we want to get somewhere physically, then just set some goals. And I've done that in other areas of my life, and I know it's possible. I know it's possible. I set some really big goals a number of years ago in business, and I achieved it, and I rewarded myself. And this is the thing with fitness. Why can't we break the barriers? I mean, it was the same with the Roger Bannister 4-minute mile. No one thought it was possible. And once he did it, so many other people did it the next year and the year after that. So what is our limit? It's just in our mind, and why not go for it? I mean, I'll be 65 in June, and I looked, this is crazy, but I looked at who has the world record for solo and HYROX at 65 to 69. In my mind, I say, I want to beat that. I want to beat it. Can I do it? I don't know.
What's the time?
It's
1:17.
1 hour, 17 minutes.
17. He's going to do it in Toronto, man. Listen, podcast. This is my word for you. Next year at this time, you'll be the world record holder for men's open solo at his age in the world.
And that's what,
Crazy.
that's what, see, and not that and the thing is, I have doubt. We all have doubt. And it's the same with when Andrew, you said, let's going to go sub 1 hour, 10 minutes. And I actually didn't say 1:15, I said 1:10 and 1:15. But the thing is, once you start thinking about it, once you start training for it, once you start working towards the goal, then you take it one step at a time, and the doors are going to open or they're going to close, and you move forward through the open doors.
Yeah.
And then the open doors are, do you train? Do you eat better? Do you book the flight? Do you book the ticket? And then you step into that road that's leading you to that finish line, that goal. And that can be any area in life. And I believe anything is possible in life. Anything is possible in life. And I think the one cool thing about that, as far as being goal oriented, is just not always make it about me. Don't always make it what I can benefit from. If I want to set a goal and I want to achieve something, what can be done to benefit others? If it's a financial goal, who can I give to? Not just for me to benefit, but if it's a fitness goal, how can it benefit others? My family, me, living longer, whatever it is, inspiring others, and me to be inspired by you and others as well.
Good.
So it's not just about taking, but it's about giving. How can we give in these moments of achieving great success?
That's so good. You better preach it, man. When I listen to you, it's inspiring, right? And I hear hunger. You're hungry. You want it. What about when you wake up and you don't feel hungry? Because that can happen.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're all inspired right now. We're sitting around a table talking about goals and crushing it, winning in Houston and going after the world record, which is the foundation of getting after it. And that's coming from hunger. You said you got to want it. You've got to want it. Well, you got to want it because of hunger.
Yeah.
And that comes from somewhere. What about the days when you just don't feel that hunger? How do you stir the pot, or how do you put fuel on the fire? How does that happen?
Well, I think for me, it's in the back of your T-shirt. It says you just got to show up, and that sounds like a cliche, but it's true. There's so much power to the word consistency.
Come on.
Yeah, there's so much power to the word consistency. If we show up every day, if we just remain consistent, and that's like, listen, I'm self-employed. I'm a realtor, and there are times where it's dry. It's not great. You don't know where your next sale is going to come from, or your next client, and you just have to move in day by day, do your work, show up at the gym, show up at work, do your calls, do your notes, do my Popeyes as far as business goes. Everything that I need to do, that I know that I need to do, you just need to do it. And the thing is, along the way, maybe there's times you don't feel like it, and then you just need to inspire yourself with whatever it takes to make that happen. And that could be a podcast, that could be a book, it could be social media. I saw something this week that I think I sent to you. It was a guy with two stumps. He's an amputee, or he was born that way, I don't know, and one arm, and he's running down the road.
Wow, man.
He's running down the road, and he said every time time my bones hit the ground, I feel it.
Oh, God.
And he's running. And he said, "Get that Krispy Kreme dust off your mouth and get off the couch.
Wow.
What is holding you back?" And when I hear stuff like that, I want to get off the couch. And then the next morning, I showed up at Resilience because I don't feel like it every single day. No, of course not, because I'm up at 6 a.m. and I have this routine that I have to have a shower in the morning. Everybody laughs. I have to shower before we go to the gym because I need to wake up. But it's just a matter of showing up, and it's a matter of what's your goal. What do you want to do in life? What do you want to achieve, and where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And that's a question that you need to ask myself. So HYROX Doubles, once we got talking, it came to pass because we started talking about it, and then you push the button to buy the ticket, and then you buy the air flight, and then you pay for the hotel, and you're moving forward.
Taking one step at a time. Walking by faith, not by sight.
Yeah.
Just taking one step at a time. There's so much power in showing up one step after the other.
Yeah.
And just take one. Sarah, my sister, one of the best pieces of advice she's always given me, and she still says it today. She just says, just take one moment at a time.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know, going through stuff, growing up, she was always there for me. She says, just take 1 second at a time.
Yeah.
And be present in the moment.
Right.
And over time, exponentially, that compounds into something.
Right.
And it's continuing to take steps. As humans, I think we step back and we get overwhelmed by these big things in life. You know, I'm guilty of it. Delicious. How do I do this? But just taking steps. And as you said, open doors. Things happen when you take one step. Anything can happen as you step forward.
Yeah.
Any door can open. You something can happen that you don't expect, and a plethora of things open up as you step forward in confidence and faith. So it's just reminding me, it's even stirring me up right now, just to continue building resilience. We don't have an end goal.
No.
We have goals along the way, but we're taking one step at a time.
Yeah. And I think
One step at a time.
I love that. And I think in life, in business, as you build resilience, as we set these goals for HYROX, whether it's Miami that you guys are going to or Toronto that's coming up, don't forget to dream. Don't forget to dream. You know, I heard Rich Wilkerson, who's a pastor in Miami, he said, sight is something you see with a natural eye, but vision is something you don't see because your eyes are closed. So you want to have that vision for something great for the future, something that is not tangible, something you can't see with a natural eye, that vision to accomplish something that's great, to get you to a new level you've never been before, to taste something you've never tasted before. Have that vision that's deep down inside the crevices of your soul that you just get hungry and thirsty for, that you've never been to before, but you want it.
That's good stuff. You got me fired up.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. That's great.
Yeah, it's so good. It all has to do with not only fitness but life.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about right
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
it's so good. One of the things that I thought of when you were just expressing all that amazing stuff was keeping the fire lit and the power of relationship. We're talking about staying committed to your goals, and when the fire becomes low, the one thing that we do at Resilient, I think, really well, and it's really a village. It takes a village. It's not just you and me. Is when you don't feel like coming, you know that guy's gonna be there waiting for you. You know, and you become friends, and you become invested in people around you. And I think that's the basis of the fuel. It's showing up and doing life together with these people that you get to work out with on a daily basis. So it's the relationships with the people around you when you don't feel like showing up. They're waiting for you, and you're waiting for them.
Right.
So it's why we encourage, after 10 years, people to focus on others. We do this thing in class. We say, high five somebody. And when someone starts Resilience, if they've never played sports before, it can get kind of like, okay, again, but there's a reason. Because what happens is when we tell someone to high five someone, if you really believe it, you get your mind and your eyes off yourself. And you look up and you remember, all right, I'm in this with other people. And you dab somebody, you tap them and you say, let's go, you got this. And what that does, it just gives you that boom. Okay, I'm in this with other people, and it's not a solo journey. You're with other people. And this is what we do at Resilience. This is what I've been sharing and preaching for 10 years, that it's about community, it's about relationship, but there's a really reason, because it lifts you up and it lifts others up.
Yeah.
You don't know what the person 2 rowers down from you is going through.
Right.
You don't know.
No.
You don't know. And vice versa. Maybe next year you're going through someone. But showing up is not just about for yourself, like what you said with your goals. It's about the person next to you. And over time in the gym, you become friends with these people.
Yeah,
you actually do life with these people.
You're doing life with them.
This
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
So there's so much in that. And that was fun to experience that in Houston together.
Yeah.
Because although we're father and son, we don't get to see each other all the time.
Right.
But we rocked together down in Houston. It was a memory.
Yeah, it was
You know,
great.
now Josh gets to do that with Dan.
Yeah.
I get to do that with Kara. We're
Yeah.
creating memories. We're building relationships. And that's
Absolutely.
what it's about.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
And there's going to Houston and getting there, and the day before and the morning of, there's this anxiousness, like the leading up to the shotgun, your time, and the endurance in your mind of, can I do this? Can I keep up? And all of that. Can create stress, right? But the crazy thing is, you just go and you step one at a time. You're just walking up to the start line, and then it happens, and you just go through it. But it's fun because we after the finish we did our Texas ribs and steak, and then the weather was great, and we got to hang out together. And your daughter was there, our granddaughter Justice, and Kara and Juanita, my wife. So it was a real good family time to set aside, and it was worth the trip to Houston.
That's cool.
Yeah. And we had really cool rooms. We had suites.
It's the last one that was available. There was nothing else available.
Yeah, that's why we had to pay for it.
Left. That's good, eh?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, there's like an adrenaline, but like you're nervous, but there's the adrenaline, and it really reminds me of sports. Like when you get in the tunnel and they're playing the music and they're hyping you up, it really feels like you're going into something, and there's like a healthy kind of not anxiousness, but a little bit of like you're jittery, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
a good feeling. It's fun.
And it's like going to a game. I love football. And I remember going to Super Bowl 51 in Houston. We went to Super Bowl 51 in Houston. It was February 2017, and that was one of the goals I had the year before. If I made a certain level in my business, I would go to the Super Bowl, and I didn't even know who was going to be in it. But it happened to be my team made it to the divisional finals, and then the conference championship, and of course they were going to the Super Bowl, which were the New England Patriots, and they were down at halftime. And this is a great story because I made the goal in my business, and my wife loves football, so I bought the 2 tickets. And the 2 tickets were insanely expensive because you can't buy tickets in Canada for the Super Bowl. You have to go into a lottery, and you have to be a U.S. citizen. So I had to buy them resale. And the Patriots were down 28-3 in the third quarter. And I thought, if you know football, the 2 best teams of the year, if you're down that much, you're not going to come back. You're not going to win. It's impossible almost. Like, you might as well leave. And people did leave. I knew famous people who left the game. And that's the thing about life, talking about, can you get to the 4-minute mile? Can you complete and win and podium in HYROX? And that's what the Patriots did in that game. In the third quarter, they were down 28-3, and it was one play at a time, one touchdown at a time, one field goal at a time, that they crawled back out of that hole and they completed and they won. And that's the thing about it is in life, that we just have to take it one play at a time, one game at a time, one day at a time. You don't feel like going to the gym today? Just go. It's one day at a time. Tomorrow's a new day. Yeah. And you don't know what you're going to crush today, and then the goal ahead of you. If you met this goal, then you can meet the next goal. And that's what the Patriots did that day. And they won. And they came back and they won in overtime. First Super Bowl ever in overtime.
It was a crazy game.
Crazy game. It was a crazy
Julian
game.
Edelman with that catch.
Yeah.
Remember that catch?
It was the catch. It was the catch
nuts.
for
It was
sure.
nuts.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I know that we're probably winding down.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. I know. We could keep going, right? But the future of resilience, I mentioned it when we opened the podcast, but you've been here since day one. Mm-hmm. You've seen the evolution of this community, this business, of Josh's life, of my life, and you've seen people come and go. You've seen amazing things, Spartan races, resilience games, San Diego. Where would you like to see this community go in the next 10 years?
Where would I like to see
Yeah.
it go? Oh, that's a deep question. Where would I like to see it go?
Curious to hear it.
Yeah, where
I ask you because I think it's fitting because you've been here since the first day. So you've seen the first 10 years.
Yeah. I think, well, can I answer it in two ways? I think that where I'd like to see it to go is that you continue to change people's lives.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just physically. Like we have created, or I have created, or have been a part of some really great friendships at the gym. And it has enriched my life. It's enriched my life. So there's that with resilience. And I think that's what set you guys apart from places like other gyms. I don't want to say their names, but other gyms where people come and they have built up life with each other. And that's what's great about resilience. Secondly, it's changed my life physically. Physically, I do feel I'm in the best shape of my life, and it's because of you guys, because of all of the coaches, patient included, and everybody that's affected my life and helped me to get to where I'm at. And the beauty of that is that I'm healthy for my kids and my grandkids and my life. I want to live long, right? You start thinking about it like I'm 65. It's like using a football analogy. I feel like I'm going into my fourth quarter and I want overtime. So, I mean, that's the beauty of being healthy is that you can get there by attending resilience. What I like to see, I want to see you guys succeed in great levels that you have not even dreamed of. And what that involves, I'm not sure, because maybe you don't know either. And that's the beauty of setting dreams and goals, is that we don't know exactly what the end result will be. But the journey will be incredible as you come along to that finish line. And it can evolve. My broker boss says to me, Ken, he's in his 70s now and he's an incredible man. And he's kind of changing his place in life right now, what he's doing, all that he's doing. And he said to me, I'm evolving. And I think when we evolve, we're just not exactly sure what is around the corner, but I'm going to take that corner and see where it takes me. And then that corner may bring me two different lanes to go down. I'm going to take one and maybe take another, and we adjust and then evolve again and evolve again. So for resilience, I can see that you've created a second location in a very, very, very fast pace with a great, great, great success. And I think when you do things like that, you have the formula. You have the answer. You have the goods. And so hopefully you can bring that to many more people. And that's going to mean maybe other locations and greater success and just multiply upon multiply. And that's the great beauty of compound interest when you're investing in money. It's the same as business. You've got the answer. You know what to do. And hopefully you compound the interest of resilience fitness in many other areas and people and lives and locations.
Amazing. Love it. Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for just encouraging us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the people that are listening to this are going to feel encouraged as well.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Appreciate you being on. Thank you.
Yeah, I really
Thanks.
appreciate it. I know a lot of people are going to be encouraged by your story, and just you showing up every day. It's encouraging, man. It encourages me seeing you work out, encourages me seeing you do life. So really appreciate you on the podcast and love you.
Well, love you too. And I want to thank both of you. Josh, I've known you since you were a teenager, and Andrew, obviously all your life. And you've impacted my life. You've impacted my life in a very positive way, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, being there and just showing up and causing me to change and be the man that I am today. Thank you.
Love it. Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap. Looking forward to many more. That was a great episode.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace out.